Welcome to the double feature of Smackdown and Rampage. We will be doing Smackdown first because it's a longer show. Okay, first thing we're going to talk about is the six-man tag with Imperium versus the Brawling Bruisers. Guys, Seattle was hot for the Brawling Bruisers. They loved them. They loved Shane. I haven't seen Sheamus this hot in a long time. I have not seen Sheamus this loved in a long time. This work he's been doing on this run has been the best he's done in years. And understand, I've always liked Sheamus. I always have. But this year is the hottest he's been in a long time. Yes, it's been building up to this, but this is where he's been hot. Where he's really over. And Imperium is helping him. When you see him and Gunther, I'm getting Gunther of Impact Wrestling mixed up with Gunther of SmackDown. I'm sorry. G is G. But you see that these guys, they got something that people love. One badass, another badass, neither one's backing down, and knowing that one of these badasses has gone after every physical title and has not gotten the last one. And they know he's going to get it, but how long will it be? That's what this story is all about. Everyone feels that eventually Sheamus will get that damn title. He will get it from Gunther. It will happen. But the question is, when are they going to pull the trigger? Will it be at Survivor Series? Will it be at Royal Rumble? Will they continue building into it? That's the question. This match gives you a great example of how hot he is with Gunther, and can they keep this going? Because as it stands right now, we could probably get at least 2 more months out of this situation. We're in September, October, November. We could actually make it to Survivor Series where finally Sheamus could get that damn title. That's what I see here. The crowd in Seattle was hot for how the Imperium was working with the Bruisers. You see Pete Dunne doing some joint manipulation. It was fine. In the end, Imperium won again. It doesn't matter if they cheated or not. They just won. They actually just won straight. But the point is, people are still hot for Sheamus and the Bruisers. I don't see this ending too soon. And I do believe it'll culminate at Survivor Series. I think that would be the best time to do it. Next, we had a match that I don't understand. Why? It makes no sense to have Toxic Attraction have a match against the champions. Why? Wouldn't it be great for the debuting Toxic Attraction? I ask you this. Leave a comment below. Leave down there. Not there. Down here. Leave a comment below. Wouldn't it have been better for them to debut? Bring in 2 enhanced talents from one of the other promotions within Seattle and let them wipe the floor with them. Wouldn't it have been better that way? Why do you have Toxic Attraction get their asses handed to them by the champions where we know for a fact there's just not that many teams on Raw, SmackDown, and since they did not combine the titles of NXT, which would have been the wisest thing to do. I know many people say, no, leave NXT tag titles alone. No. How many teams do you have on NXT? Not that many. You don't have that many on Raw. You don't have that many on SmackDown. You don't have that many, period. It would have been better they have all 3 shows have one united title so the women can go to each one. And if they got to put a makeshift tag team together, at least then you'll have a lot more women to work with. No. I do not agree with this. This was stupid. And now that Gigi Dolan and our partner, I can't remember her name, they're on SmackDown now. They are completely separated from Mandy Rose. So Mandy's probably going to stay on NXT for a little while longer before they finally bring her in. So, and I do believe it's going to be Jade Cora J is going to probably get the damn title because they are grooming her. It's obvious, you could see she's getting there. So Mandy will probably drop it to her. But that's just me, guys. Tell me below. Now, the Fatal 5-Way. I'm moving on. I'm moving through these. The Fatal 5-Way to crown the next #1 contender for a Liv Morgan's title going into Extreme Rules. We got Xia Li, we had Lacey Evans, we had Natalya, we had Sonya Deville, we had who else was there? We also had Ronda Rousey. Did I believe that Ronda wasn't going to win there? Nope. Did I believe that Ronda was going to win everything? Yup. How they were going to book it was the question. And to be honest, it wasn't that well booked. Look, Lacey Evans being in that title picture, didn't care. Natalya's always been the standard because they always want someone legitimate in there who's a well-trained pro wrestler who can handle herself and looks good. Not just physically good. And if you've seen, Natalya is such a damn tease. I think that TJ is not giving Natalya enough because if you've noticed her Instagram with her sister, she's been showing a lot of flesh lately. I mean, I know it's summer. You're going to do that. But over the years, I'm sure she hasn't been this provocative, showing a lot of flesh with her sister. Now, there's nothing wrong with being in a bikini with your sister, but let's be honest. They're both built like this. And no one is saying they can't show what they got. But how many times have been showing it lately? A lot. Last year, she didn't show it as much as this year. She's showing a lot of tits and ass. So, TJ, my boy, you better do something. Because if your lady is showing a lot of flesh lately, that might mean something. Either she wants more interest in the product. In other words, she wants someone in the product to notice her more because she's getting more traction. Or she just wants people to look at her. But I did not believe at 1 minute a Ronda Rousey was going to lose. Look, the very first person that got pinned, taken out, not pinned, but submitted, the very first person was Natalya. Not Lacey Evans, not Xia Li, not even Sonya Deville. It was Natalya who jobbed first. That means something a little bit. You guys tell me below, what does that actually mean? To me, it means that whoever booked this wanted the one who was the most well-rounded wrestler out of there as quickly as possible. They wanted to make this about MMA. So she was thrown. Done. Quickly. After everyone else was gone, it was Sonya Deville versus Ronda Rousey. And Sonya has been saying Ronda has been taking her thunder because she's an MMA star, just like Ronda is. How come she's never gotten anywhere? Well, guess what? Honey, no matter how cute you are, more figured than Ronda Rousey, Sonya is not ugly. She's a beautiful woman, yes. She can talk very well, yes. She also works pretty well in the damn ring. But you are not Ronda. Ronda has the sprinkles. That's how you go, not like this, but the sprinkles of a Vince and Kenny McMahon that is now being continued with Triple H, Stephanie, and Nick Khan. I don't care who you are. Stephanie, Nick Khan, and Triple H. They probably agreed that Ronda need to be continued. So she went through everyone and she won. So now she's going to Extreme Rules against a Liv Morgan. But here's where it gets interesting. Once she met a Shayna Baszler, and she basically has been bothering her, saying that you're not the same Shayna Baszler. You're nothing. You're nobody. You better start womaning up, and you better start breaking bones, and then maybe I'll pay attention to you. That means they want to try and set something up with Shayna Baszler, possibly with Ronda Rousey, which actually would make sense. Two of the horsewomen of MMA have never been in the ring together. Not once. That we've seen on NXT or on the main roster. Not once have you seen them actually go. When I look at Shayna Baszler compared to Ronda, guess who looks better? It's Shayna. Shayna's been developed way more than Ronda, no matter how well in real life Ronda could beat the shit out of a Shayna Baszler. Or Shayna could beat Ronda. I believe Shayna as a more credible threat than any woman on the roster, but because of her booking, it sucks. And this is where I kind of wished that Shayna Baszler had won the damn title away from a Liv Morgan, because at that point, if you are going to have Ronda go up against her, wouldn't it have been better to have Shayna as the one who started destroying everyone before Survivor Series, and then Ronda has to be the one to take her down? Then it would make Ronda feel more legitimate. To me personally, yeah, she's beaten everybody, but it doesn't really mean anything because Ronda's Ronda. I'm just saying. The 8-man tag. I'm getting through this. Hit Row and the Street Profits versus the Triple M, the Maximum Male Models, and Los Lotharios. The one person I feel sorry for, and there's only one in there, it's not B-Fab, even though she's beautiful. B-Fab's a beautiful woman, along with the other woman. They're both beautiful. There's no problem. The person I feel sorry for is LA Knight. I'm not using the other name. He is LA Knight. He is Eli Drake. That is who we're dealing with. And he is stuck with this story. He's stuck with this gimmick. It's not working. And he's trying. Believe me, you can watch him trying to get this over as hard as possible. It's just not working for me. Yes, of course, I've barely seen it, but for what bits I've seen, it's just not working with him. He needs to be a singles competitor again. He is that charismatic. He's a good worker in the ring. He's got the good physique. Why is he stuck there? Why? I don't get it. You know who won. I'm not even going to say who won. You know the faces won. Do you care? No. I care about the LA Knight. And he's losing again. I'm moving on. Final match of the night, which between the two matches, I'm going to tell you from Rampage's last match and this last match, which one was better. I will tell you when I finish Rampage. But we got Drew McIntyre versus Solo Sikoa. Now, they tried to hype him up with his brothers and with Sami Zayn. He likes Sami. He can trust Sami. But when it comes to a Jey Uso who still hates Sami. He can't stand Sami. And now he's getting angry that his baby brother actually could trust Sami because he was willing to sacrifice himself again for him. Well, again for the bloodline, not just for him. He gets angry, smacks away a little bit of Sami hand and say, no, we ain't going there. We're all going to the to ringside for our baby brother. So they all go. Did he look menacing? Yeah. He looked menacing. But here's the damn problem for me personally. Solo Sikoa, when he was in NXT, he went up against big guys, he went up against small guys. And the problem here is that when you saw him wrestle, and I saw him a couple of times, he didn't need no help. He could take hits like a champ. He could take a full blow hit, drop to the ground, and get back up and stare daggers into his opponent. And it didn't make a difference. Here, that didn't happen. He went up against Drew. And it wasn't the fact he couldn't get back up. It was the fact that Jimmy, Jay, and Sami had to watch his ass. And that took away from how badass he is. And even though, and I didn't say this earlier, Pat is not there. He's doing probably commentary for the NFL right now. He's probably working with them because they're going to be doing a season soon, I believe. The NFL season is going to be starting soon. Probably he's going to be doing some stuff that usually was ESPN and maybe Fox. I don't know where he's working. But he's not there right now. It's going to be Corey Graves for the next couple of months until he comes back. The key of this is that even though Corey and Cole tried their hardest to make him feel legitimate, like he was a tough guy, and he did try, and he did decently well, once his brothers and Sami got in the way, that took away from it, for me personally. He was a badass in NXT. Here he doesn't feel like it. And it's not because Drew is tougher than him. He's not. He could take on Drew if they let him have most of what he can do in NXT and let him stay really tough without his brothers even interfering. I would feel he was more legitimate. Yes, he could still get his ass beat. He could. but it just feels like it's missing something. To me personally, that's what it feels like. Now, of course, I believe, there was no match ending. Almost forgot. There was no match ending because Karrion Kross came out and put the straight jacket onto Drew, and he kept trying to get loose of it, and the straight jacket kept going on. So there was no clear winner for Drew. I mean, yes, technically, he did win because someone attacked him that was from the opposite side. Yes. So Sequoia lost. But still, I just don't believe that Sequoia had to be protected so heavily. I'm sorry. Yes, when the promo happened, it wasn't too bad, but I'm being honest here. He didn't need to be protected so heavily. I would have liked to see him actually show how good he was and show how tough he was. If he's the most terrifying of all the bloodline, he shouldn't be protected. He should have been able to go up against Drew, go nose to nose. Yeah, he would have still lost. But at least before the straitjacket was put on Drew, it would have been better. Now, let's go on to, gotta flip it, Rampage. Now, Sammy Guevara versus the wild card match for the tournament at Grand Slam, for the chance to get ready to go and get the vacant AEW title. Was this a good match? Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't that a bad match. I've never seen a Sammy Guevara match and a Darby Allin match, especially when they work together, look bad. They can botch a little bit, but generally they're pretty good together. They are. That's how they both are. And that little interaction between him and Ty was interesting. And I'm talking about a little bit of Darby Allin, because Ty was messing with him. He messed right back and did a suicide, pretty much I can't even, what would I call that? When he dives out there. It's not even a suicide dive when you should go straight, and he's basically curving in like a battering ram. There you go, battering ram. In the end, Darby lost and Sammy wins. I believe he's going up against Moxley, I believe. Is he going? Yeah, he's going up against Moxley. So, it wasn't a bad match. It wasn't a good match. It was an okay match. It's what we've seen from them. Here's a match that I'm going like, guys, here's a match that I want to see developed, but it ain't going to happen. You got two trainers in the Selena Deep and the Madison Rayne. And I know people would say Madison sucks. She's not a good wrestler. Stop it. I'm not in Madison's corner and not in Selena Deep's corner. I'm talking about booking. Booking for the women sucks. Sucks. I'll say it again. The booking for the women fucking sucks. Even the little segment with the baddies, where you could have dropped the title to Athena, but they didn't want to and keep it on Jade Cargill. At this point, she needs to drop it and move on to the world title picture. The TBS title needs to be dropped and let her move on to the world title because she needs a change. She's done enough. But the point is, you got two trainers where you could have developed a story that, let's say, they never met one another. They've always known about each other, but they never met in the ring before. Of course they have. But you could have built a story around both of them, as each one has an ideology of how they train the ones in the back, because they're training women. It's legitimate. Selena Deeps is a trainer as well as works as a wrestler. Madison Rayne's a trainer, works as a wrestler, and I believe she's part of some other stuff with talent relations in the back. I believe. Could be wrong. But still, you could develop a story where one has a certain type of ideology and how she trains people, and another one has a certain ideology how she trains, and you could have had them butt heads saying, this is how it's supposed to be, we train them like this, and she says, no, I trained them like this because this is how I was trained by my mentors, men and women alike that train me. And Selena Deep says, no, this is better. And you could have built a damn story around this. Look, I just booked a real story that is better than Sheeta and Selena Deeps. They had to work hard to make that story of Selena Deebs destroying Sheeta just to make it interesting. Here is a real story. And in the end, what do we get? We got Selena Deebs destroying Madison Rayne, which I knew she was going to. Look, I don't think Madison's a 100% trashy wrestler. She's a good wrestler, guys. I'm not saying she's great. She's middle of the road. She's here. Sometimes she goes a little bit above. Easily she can go below it if she's not in a good mood. But she's always been a middle of the road wrestler. And Deebs has always been easily here to here. We know this. So you got some people that can do this. It would work if you put a story behind it. And there's none, and this is what we get. Now, we got Powerhouse Hobbs saying that he is opening a book of Hobbs. Doesn't that sound like he's been talking to Mark Henry? Talking to Mark Henry about the Hall of Pain. Well, the Halls of Pain. There goes the book of Hobbs. He beat a Ricky Starks, and now he's turning a page of the book of Hobbs. And now the next page will be done where the book of Hobbs will be written in the blood of my opponents. Or by the winning of the opponents, if you want to go there. I'll tell you this. I'm upset. That could have been a better feud. What they did at All Out was garbage. They should have left it alone and just did it on Dynamite. They should have done the storyline on Dynamite if they weren't even going to let Powerhouse Hobbs or Ricky Starks show real emotion. They told them just go out there, do a 5-minute match and just get it over with. And that's what we got. I am angry about that. I agree with the Slick Daddy. He was disappointed about this match because he was interested in it because one of the few stories they had. And I'm very disappointed. It pissed my ass off. So this is what we got. Finally, well, let's do the Tony Nese, the Josh Woods, and the Samoa Joe. We have not seen Samoa Joe much due to the fact he's been working and doing voice work. It's obvious. We know this. And I hope the movie is going to be good. I really do hope. Because I would like to see the voice work of a Samoa Joe. But he says, I've been gone for a while, but now that I'm come back, I'm making sure I defend this damn title. So smart Mark Sterling comes out. He said, oh really? You're going to defend that title? I got 2 people here that's ready for it. And Samoa Joe says, all right, then let's do it now. He says, no, next week. And it's going to be Josh Woods. You get your match then. And hopefully now, because he has finished his voice work, he will now be in AEW more often. That's what I'm hoping for. But it's also going to be a question, and here's the big question. Are they going to book him sporadically? Because when you look at how the titles are being displayed, the world title, which was defended here, which is fine. The pure title, which was defended on Dynamite. And here, when you talk about Samoa Joe, what are we really getting? We still don't see ROH. We only see defended on either Dark, I think it's being defended on Dark Elevation, and most of the time it's going to be defended on maybe Dynamite and Rampage. Where is ROH? Where is it? I want to see an ROH banner. I don't want to see a Dynamite, and I don't want to see a Rampage banner. I want to see an ROH banner because we need ROH. Finally, the match of the night, which I have to say was better than the Sequoia and Drew McIntyre match, which wasn't a bad match. We got Dash versus a Claudio Castagnoli. And I can tell you right now, that was the best match between both shows. Flat out, 100%. Of course, you guys can pick what you want, but I truly believe this was the best match between both shows. 100%. For the world title, and you can see when they were talking with Mark Henry that Dash knew him. Dash knew Claudio. Dash knew William Regal. William Regal said he brought him out of obscurity. And he agreed. Yes, you did. And I'm not saying that I'm the best, and this is Dash. I'm not saying that I'm going to pop. Everyone thinks I'm going to lose. Everyone thinks I'm an underdog. But I'm going to give you the truth. This is how I feed my family. I don't quit. I feed my family. This is how I do it. I do it with my passion. I'm going to beat your ass. And in this match, which was very physical, where at one point, Dash got slammed into the ring post while in the ring and fell out and might have landed pretty high on his head when he fell out of the ring. I'm hoping he's alright. They both were very rough with each other. And in this situation where Dash really wanted to show Claudio that he was damn good, and which he is damn good, you could see that this was the best match. In the end, Claudio won. He did. Of course, he did win. So the question's going to be, now what for Claudio Castagnoli? Even though you did hear a Chris Jericho talk about he's never had the Ring of Honor title, I doubt he'll go for it. Unless Ring of Honor finally is shown with his own banner, maybe then he'll show up on a pay-per-view that's for Ring of Honor. As it stands, he's not going to show up there. Unless it's a cameo. Unless he's going to help someone else beat the crap out of somebody. That's how it is. So how were both shows? SmackDown was okay. Not bad. Rampage was not bad either, even though there's so much controversy going along with AEW. You can watch both of them, but if you want to see the one that has the better matches, here's where it gets difficult. I mean, when you look at the six-man tag in the very beginning of SmackDown, that is the best match of the night with a big group. But if you're talking about singles, it's going to be Claudio versus Dash. That's the truth. So SmackDown had the best six-man tag, but Rampage had the best singles tag. That's the way it goes. Everything in between both shows was okay, but not great. They both were alright, by my perspective. I'm sure other people can say they look great, but me, I'm just saying that both of them were like here. Here's Rampage, just about here, about dead even. Here's SmackDown, about dead even. They're both okay, but it's just me. Peace.